Hey guys, CreamCrazy here. Welcome to my Extreme Rules 2012 predictions video. Now, of course, I'm on my hiatus, but I did say prediction videos and Q&As are going to stay. So therefore, this video is here today. Now, I'm going to do 3 videos in the space of 3 days. This is going to be quite hectic for me. So, if I'm a bit tired while doing them, I'll explain a lot. Also, before I get into the prediction of this pay-per-view, I want to point this out quickly. Sky Sports has not been doing me very kindly because apparently, because the WrestleMania got billed at the beginning of the month and the process of being paid, getting it all attached and everything, getting that all cleared away from the viewing cards system, is technically not been done. I can't order Extreme Rules on the box office, so for the first time in 2.5 years, I'm going to have to stream a pay-per-view on the internet. Now, I don't want to stream a pay-per-view on the internet, but unfortunately, that is what I'm going to have to do. It'll be a lot easier to type while doing something, which would be fantastic, just to point that out, but at the same time, it'll be annoying as hell because it's not a full surround sound experience. And plus, with my ears being blocked, yep, they're both blocked up, I can't hear much, so if this video is a bit too loud, then it's just to make sure, for me at least, that I can hear myself. And that's something I need to stress is quite important. Anyway, 6 matches on this card so far. And I have to say this means, of course, 1 will be added to the show, or maybe 2 added to the show, because John Laurinaitis and the guys in the creative just can't think of anything good. Hey? Well, first off, the pre-show match, which I will be watching, and it's up to you guys if you want that added to the review or not. It's up to you completely what's going to happen with this. First, because we have Santino Marella defending the WWE United States Championship against The Miz. Now, I actually thought with the 6th match on the card being a pre-show match, I thought, okay, they could easily stick this on the card, but I then realised, came to my assumption, that yeah, this hasn't had too much build and therefore no one will give a shit, therefore is a reason why it's a pre-show match. However, if the matches they add to the card later are shitter than this, then therefore putting this on as a pre-show is a complete waste of time for just about everybody here. Now, Santino's going to retain, no question. It's obvious some people are saying The Miz has to win to build himself back up again, but a title change will not occur on a pre-show. And also knowing how over Santino is, it's just not going to happen. It's as simple as that, everybody. And also, yeah, if you want me to add this to the pay-per-view review and add it as part of the event, because normally you don't see dark matches, so maybe I should. Or maybe I should treat this like I did at WrestleMania, like the pre-show there. I didn't watch the pre-show match. I didn't add it to the review. So maybe I'll give my prediction for it, and that'll be that. I probably won't watch the pre-show, but I might do. It can all change at the snap of a finger. You never know. Next, Nikki Bella defending the WWE Divas Championship against Beth Phoenix. Now, this match, I'm a bit confused about who to predict for this one. Because the Bella twins are going to basically leave the company in the next couple of days because their contract is expiring. They do not want to renew. However, Beth Phoenix picked up an ankle injury. Now, there have been rumours going around that this injury is a complete work, but it's made it so real that the wrestlers portrayed it as such online and everything, that these injury storylines are becoming much more. Basically, you could basically treat them as real to the point where they're not, or something like that. Basically, this injury could be a real injury because it looked painful on Raw. It could not be an injury because they could just be doing that to give Beth some time off and possibly rebuilding karma over the summer, that kind of thing. But I don't know. And you know what? I would say Beth to win just to basically win back the title, but I don't know. I really don't know who I predict for this one. Just simply, I'd probably just go for Beth. It's the common assumption that you'd want Beth to win the title again. But some people are saying otherwise. I mean, obviously she's got a weakened ankle. It wouldn't work out for her. You know, the usual shit. But I would go for Beth, just because to stick on the safe side. Easy to go for a person who in any case could dominate Nikki Bella, no question. Then we have the Big Show defending the WWE Intercontinental Championship in a match that is to be determined against Cody Rhodes. Now, I said this at WrestleMania in my predictions video, that why Cody didn't lose in a steel cage match at this pay-per-view and give the title to the show then. It would have been so much better to put Cody over at the biggest stage of them all 2 years running to show they've got faith in the guy, but also gives Big Show some desire to go after it and actually beat the shit out of him and win it again. And plus, putting it in a cage would make perfect sense that, oh, Cody, you like kicking my ass and then weaseling out, you wouldn't be able to do that. That would make much more sense. However, the intrigue of going into a match not knowing what the stipulation is going to be quite interesting. Now, Mark P said in his predictions video that it could be a Raw Roulette style thing, which would be fine as long as the match type isn't too stupid. But again, I would have rather had Cody go into this as champion, because then he looks shit as a person chasing it. Because he looks quite cowardly, quite weak, like a heel would. But just with Cody, against Big Show, a guy of his size, you would not take him seriously. And then again, I'm going to also put this out. If Cody gets drafted to Monday nights for the main event push of his life, it'll make sense for Big Show to win this match and keep the title. Because he's a stellar mid-card guy on SmackDown. He deserves the place where he needs to be. And I'll take it from there. Basically, Big Show to win. I don't really care what match it is, because we don't know, we can't see if it sways it one way or the other. Good with that? Sweet. Right. Kane versus Randy Orton in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Now, I will stress this point quickly. After seeing no DQ matches and repetitive beatdowns over the last couple of weeks between these two, it honestly makes me wonder how the hell the creative team can kill any form of buzz that this match had, knowing that the feud had no buzz to begin with. Because honestly, let me put this into perspective. First SmackDown after WrestleMania, Orton pins Kane in a street fight, clean. That basically nullifies the need for this match, in my opinion. It makes this match seem utterly pointless. That after the night after, Kane got a fantastic victory, an unexpected victory, that Orton just beats him. And that makes Kane's momentum go straight down again. And, to be honest, because he won at WrestleMania, it means Orton is going to win because he put Kane over, and that, to be honest, was something no one expected. It means, obviously, that Kane has no likelihood of winning. And it's annoying. Then again, in a Falls Count Anywhere match, I've got the slight hope these guys are going to brawl in the back. Hell, actually, I'd like to see the match start in the back, and then they work their way out to the ring. Now, how fun would that be, knowing that Kane is a giant monster and Orton is a guy who could get impatient waiting and just start it up? You know? I mean, who would want to see that? But actually, I think all of you would want to, but the only problem is WWE just won't do it because they haven't got the mind of me. That's right, I could think up ideas that their creative won't even bother thinking about, but it's just me after all. Then, Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the Heavyweight Championship of the World. Don't know why I just said it like that, but things change. Right. These guys are finally getting a decent match on the card. It'll be fun to see. Now, I will point out this is a 2 out of 3 falls match, a wrestling match. No, this is a match which is not a hardcore match, technically. It's just a stipulation. Now, I would feel this needs to be no DQ so it won't end quickly, because people have been saying, Mark P included and quite a lot of other people, have been thinking it's going to end quickly. How Sheamus is going to do 2 falls to 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. I honestly do not want to see that again, because that's just ridiculous. I mean, you can't do what happened at WrestleMania, which pissed off just about everyone. And honestly, if you do it again, 2 pay-per-views running, it makes you lose all faith in Sheamus, because everybody will hate on him for it, and I need to put that down as in the part for the IWC Most Hated Award I'm putting down at my Wrestling Rant Awards vid at the end of the year. It's that kind of thing. I don't want it to happen again, because that would be just fucking stupid. And despite wanting Bryan to retain the title, Sheamus is going to win it, because obviously, look at Bryan. He's not a guy who could obviously beat up a giant big guy like Sheamus and do it well, despite the fact he managed to pin Henry and Big Show on multiple different occasions through multiple different ways. That's something which is definitely something that he couldn't do against a guy like Sheamus, who's got the speed to be able to go with him. However, I must point out something. If this match does end as a 2-0 match, Bryan will be put down in the mid-card forever, which I do not want to see. In fact, the only time a 2-0 match should ever happen is when a veteran is putting a younger guy over, saying, yeah, you go and do that. And I know there's one instance where it happened in Chris Benoit's last ever pay-per-view match that he took part in. MVP beat him 2 out of 3 falls, 2-0 to win the US title. And that, of course, we know that after that, Benoit went to ECW. So he didn't get another championship. So you see, he put MVP on the road to becoming a success. Well, it didn't work out for MVP, but at the same time, it still made him legitimate. And that's how it should be. Well, Daniel Bryan needs to look a threat in this match. He needs to be able to get a 1 fall. I don't care how he does it. He needs 1 solitary fall. And because even though I'm a Daniel Bryan fan, and you guys know it, I do not think I can take Daniel Bryan seriously if he loses 2 falls to 0. Because that would mean even I would say he's not a main event player anymore. And that would be disappointing, because Daniel Bryan basically is one of the best reasons to watch SmackDown as of late. And I haven't watched SmackDown as of late because I've had other things to do, like revision. But honestly, I mean, I can also point this out, like Mark P and a few others have said, the crowd will be white hot with the yes, yes, yes chants. I've got a wallpaper with yes, yes, yes on my computer because it is one of the funnest things in the world that's come up in wrestling in recent times. So, Sheamus to get the win, but I want Bryan to put up a fight, not to have it a very quick hit bro kick, hit high cross, hit Irish curse, easy, 2 falls no. I don't want that to happen. As long as it's a good, decent match that's given the time, I will be at least half happy with that. Then, we get to what probably is going to be my favourite match of the night, for obvious reasons. CM Punk versus Chris Jericho in a Chicago street fight for the WWE Championship. People do often wonder, ladies and gentlemen, what the hell is a Chicago street fight? Well, to be honest, I'll say this. I went on WWE.com, and to prove the audience that they think the audience is stupid, they put up a crib sheet detailing what the rules are for Extreme Rules match, which is the one that Lesnar and Cena are in, 2 out of 3 falls match for Sheamus and Bryan, and a Chicago street fight. I thought, okay, maybe there is some difference to a normal street fight. And I look and it said, oh, it's basically, you can basically beat them until they can do no more. I thought, okay, it's like a last man standing match, like a knockout. You can beat them up till they cannot respond. Okay, that's fine. It's a hard-ass city. You can beat the shit out of someone. Fantastic. Then I looked at upwards, which I completely skipped over, and it said, you can win only by pinfall and submission. And that basically means it's a normal street fight. So, what's the point? If it's called something, why not give it a different rule? It's boggled my mind for years, and I have no idea why. However, Chicago, I feel, is the only place to have that really can have a street fight in its namesake. Because I can sense the crowd are going to be hot as a fucking furnace for this. The crowd are going to be mental. They're going to be off the rock because it's CM Punk's hometown, people. They are going to go mental like they did at Money in the Bank. And while many in the IWC and the Hurricane, Shane Helms, don't like this straight edge alcohol storyline, to me, it's brilliant. Because just like the Chicago crowd will be, they would want to see Punk beat the hell out of Jericho and leave him a complete mess. Because this feud, okay, some people going into this was saying, fine. I've just completely lost my train of thought, basically. Anyway, as a devout straight edge person, for the first time in ages, I have been able to fully say I hate a heel. Full on. Because usually with me, I often say, okay, he's a bad guy, I know I'm supposed to hate him, but I love the guy because he's a good wrestler, great mic skills, and he's fantastic. The fact is, in this instance, I absolutely hate Jericho, because I'm straight edge. Punk isn't what I'd call a god, but he's basically a guy who has inspired me so much. To see him being force-fed alcohol makes me want to beat Jericho myself. I mean, sure, I probably had to end up using a whole lot of arm bars to do it, but it's just the fact that for the first time ever, I can fully get behind, for the first time in years, I can get behind a heel and basically want him to get beat. And that will be something I really want to, I really want to see Jericho get his ass kicked. In fact, hell, I want these two to destroy each other. But then again, PG WWE, when the hell is that going to be possible? I was doubting whether they could actually beat the hell out of each other and do it well. Hell, I even came up with this better idea. Why not make a match like this? Chicago Street Fight is a bit tame, because Street Fight and weapon choices and what you can do sometimes is quite limiting. Why not do something which not only combines with the storyline we've got going on in this feud, but just makes it much more violent? And I thought of one match that really they could have done. I mean, sure, it would have gone against anti-PG, but it would have been perfect for this. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a Chicago... I'm repeating the bloody title of the name here. A Taipei deathmatch, or what would be called a Chicago deathmatch. Basically, knowing how synonymous alcohol and bottles have been in this feud, and knowing that Punk tapes his fists up, that would be something that would be interesting. Dipping taped fists into glue and then dipping it in broken glass bottle shards. How brilliant would that have been for this? How brilliant! Because these two guys would have been willing to do this. Most other wrestlers would have thought, oh, screw it, I won't even bother. But these two could have done something like that, and it would have been fantastic. It would have been fucking epic to see that. But I can't get everything I want in this world, and you all know that as well. Being wrestling fans, you can always be heavily disappointed in that. And again, I'll say this, I can only see Punk winning. I know I'm being biased again, but there's other reasons. Because it's in Punk's hometown, there's no way he's going to lose. But then again, if Rock can win in his hometown and Punk can't, then it will show that WWE has got their priorities completely wrong here. Seriously, you put Rock over in his hometown, but you don't put your current WWE champion over. It just makes me think, oh god, that's not right. And seeing as Jericho has been put over strongly on Raw in the last couple of weeks, it's right for Punk to just overcome the odds and annihilate him. Makes sense, personally. I mean, you guys think differently. There is a comment section if you want to voice your opinion. And then finally, by God, finally, it's time for my prediction on the main event. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what was formerly the next big thing, Brock Lesnar, taking on the former Dr. Thugonomics, Super Cena, in an Extreme Rules match. I actually am anticipating this a little bit. I mean, not as much as Punk Jericho, because obviously that is one of those matches I do want to see big time. But for the first time in 9 years, we get to see these two wrestle in a one-on-one contest. Should be quite interesting. I did notice myself that Lesnar's lack of physical wrestling in the past 5 years could lead to Cena carrying him throughout the match. And that's something people have been taking into consideration. He's lost a lot of body mass, and he's had a lot of illness as well. So maybe Cena would have to take it easy on him, which could lead to the match losing a few stars in my book. I'll tell you something, guys. I went online a week or two after the match was announced, and people have been saying that Cena must not lose in order to basically make sure he doesn't get buried, okay? Now, I know the word buried has been overused to the point where its meaning is very, very ambiguous. But I've heard even from Cena haters They're saying, oh, I hate Cena, but he must win this because he's going to get completely buried down and he will basically be made to look like a complete chump, losing to 2 part-timers and 2 shows running. It's going to be bad. But holy shit, people! Come on! It's not bad for a main guy in a company to lose a few. Come on! Cena is going to lose this. Because to make Lesnar's return make sense and make him look dominant, you've got to make sure that Lesnar does his business and beats the crap out of Cena. He busted his lip open and made Cena look like a complete weak-ass bitch. Ha! Good on F&D Films, good on you. I mean, the fact is, Cena has lost clean to Kane, Rock, Tensai, and then to go from to Lesnar. Yeah, he's lost to Tensai as well. I mean, sure, it wasn't clean by any stretch of the imagination, but at least it made it happen. At least he lost to somebody. Is the fact that it'll show that Cena's character is actually human for a change. We don't have to worry about Super Cena going in, prevailing, yay! We don't have to worry about that shit anymore. And that is great. That's fantastic. However, what I've just said, I wrote down in this predictions document on my computer last week, because up until Raw, I still had that opinion. However, I do not have that opinion anymore. You see, when Lesnar started making all those demands of Monday Night Raw starring Brock Lesnar and all these other and flying the private jet and all that shit, it made me immediately know the result of this match. Cena will win. Cena is going to win. You know why? Because a heel who makes those kind of demands never, ever, ever wins a pay-per-view match. Because that is ludicrous. I mean, sure, they may have Brock Lesnar win and Laurinaitis, even though he doesn't like the idea of promoting Lesnar on such a big pedestal on Raw, knowing that he signed him and it could slightly backfire on him. That would be interesting to watch, but I don't think it would actually happen. Because it has been penciled into the contract for this match. So, to be perfectly honest, I don't see it happening. I don't see Lesnar winning because of this. I mean, sure, people are saying it's going to be a very dirty finish, and if Lesnar does win, it's going to be with interference from Laurinaitis or something like that. But to me, if Lesnar can beat Cena clean, albeit I'll give it a standing ovation. If Cena can beat Lesnar clean, it'll show, at least in this case, he could beat someone who actually looks like a legitimate threat. Because if someone could bust your mouth open with just doing 1 or 2 punches, then you know this guy is a legitimate threat. So, I mean, this result could go in any direction. I know this is an Extreme Rules match, violence aplenty. Well, aplenty in inverted commas. But to be honest, just the fact that these demands from Lesnar are in place just makes me know that Cena is going to walk out like he always does, smug as hell, not selling anything, portraying himself as the big man once again. Because then again, he lost to Rock, which we didn't expect. This is something which we can expect. And to be honest, if WWE throws a curveball again, I think I might be just as shocked as I was at WrestleMania. Well, not that shocked. Because if WWE keeps throwing curveballs like this in Cena matches, we will then start to doubt whether Super Cena can actually get the job done, and it could make his matches a lot more interesting. You up with that? Good. Guys, that is it. That's the end of my predictions video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I was going to say entering. What the hell? You haven't entered the video screen. You're not on here. You're not in front. You're seeing my face, not yours. But anyway, if you want to, and if you have to, yeah, I know you have to. Click that subscribe button up there, people. I appreciate your support. Also, Q&A questions. Before the video tomorrow, I want to thank you guys so much because I have got more questions than I've ever received before. At this moment in time, I have 33 questions. 33! Holy shit! It's amazing. And thank you guys for this. Thank you. Because honestly, I've never thought I'd have that many questions. And then again, I will say this. I'm going up to see Mum in Norfolk tomorrow, so I won't be getting the video done straight away. Then again, you've got until midnight tonight to get more questions in if you want. At this moment in time, that is nearly 8:30. Yeah, I just looked at an invisible watch. Touch it, bitches. Yeah, basically, you've got until midnight to give me your questions. Midnight GMT or BST, whichever one it is. Just, if you get it in by midnight in this country, the United Kingdom, your questions will be answered. Just, yeah, I always questions, guys. Also, comment down below what your predictions are. Hell, even leave a video as a video response. I don't care. It's up to you what you want to do with your own stuff. Guys, I've been CreamCrazy. You've been people watching. This has been my Extreme Rules 2012 predictions video. I think I just said predictions twice. I don't know. My mind just gone blank. Nevertheless, I'll see you guys tomorrow for my April Q&A. I'll see you then. Hope you have a fantastic rest of the day. And also, guys, if you're in the UK, watch Match of the Day tonight. So many good goals. All's good. Haha. Cheers.